We're live.
Oh, dare we be live?
Fucking pictures. Fucking.
Fuck.
That was the other thing too, where I'm like, if we just had like a laptop set up where we could just record fucking video. I just want, like, I want the cheapest fucking way to just start doing the video so we don't have to take pictures anymore. Because then I can just grab screenshots or clips.
Yeah.
Because this part it's like my least favorite part because it feels the least genuine.
Yeah, because we're posing, or we're...
Yeah.
Technically, when we have a guest, we're not posing.
Right.
Because we're actually, like, I'm talking while you're taking the photos, and then they're talking when we're taking the photos. So it's not really a kind of good experience, I guess you could say. And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to give you the best possible stuff. So
no, I get you in good poses.
Oh yeah.
I just wait for you to laugh because it's usually coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like a laugher, so
You're not.
I get bad pictures.
I'm also
more
forcing the laugh most of the time, and I'm pretty good at it. You're pretty bad at it.
I hate it.
I know you do.
I hate it.
Unique Noise presents Who Are You? Where we interview you and get to know you on a deeper level with your hosts, Joel and
Sam.
This time around, we're going back to the reviews. And we got to see, instead of movies, we're doing anime, and we're doing the first 3 episodes and giving you our thoughts about it. This episode, we're doing the anime Saga of Tanya the Evil.
The title that I continually forget. Thank you for remembering.
That's one of my favorites, so I should remember. And we'll be talking about that today and maybe some other stuff. We're going to continue our side quest here as well.
Yes.
And I bring to you a quote to start off the episode from Mark Twain. And it goes, "The 2 most important days in life are the day you are born and the day you discover the reason why."
I actually really liked that one.
Yeah, that's actually a really good quote.
I thought it was nice. I don't know a ton about. Somewhere in my head, I think Mark Twain
done
has
the second part.
No.
Okay.
So somewhere in my head, I think Mark Twain is like a questionable character.
Why?
But I don't know why, but somewhere in my head, I feel like there's some like racism or some sort of issue with him.
Nah.
I don't have facts. It's just somewhere in my head I have that inclination.
The books he wrote had some racial slurs and stuff, but I think that's just the way people talked back then. Either way, it was a normal thing,
right? But it's the whole, oh, this is a prominent historical character or figure, and then you're like, oh, but also they did this, and this, and they're like, they're not that great of a person. Whatever. I like the quote. Yeah. It's fine. But yeah, I don't think I've reached the day where I'm like, oh, this is why I'm here. And I feel like that's very prevalent in the way that I behave. Because I feel like I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I'm somewhat the same. I have not figured it out. I am hopefully getting closer to it. I think I'm kind of leveling myself around. Like, I think I want to do, or at least work-wise, I want to have an impact on kids, which is why I'm leaning more towards finding jobs in the school area.
Okay.
But I'm like, I don't want to go through all the hassle of trying to get that master's in education stuff. So I'm like, let me find something outside of that, but I can still do something in the school. But we'll see. It might not be that. but I haven't given it enough time to figure if I wanted to do that or not.
Well, I mean, you can always transition into kind of like the Mexican Santa Claus. Eventually.
Yeah.
You just gotta grow out the rest of your beard and we'll dye your hair white.
No. It's already in there.
Well, yeah, if you want to just wait for it to go naturally, that's fine too. Okay. Well, I guess we could talk more about the quote, but there's not that much.
Not really much more.
Well, I do think that it's important that we were both born, I guess.
Yeah. It's the wondering when you figure that out. And even some people just don't want to figure it out. They just go through life.
Just kind of going by like, kind of like the playbook of life.
Yeah.
Go to school, get married, have kids, get a job, whatever.
Yeah, some people may never figure that out. Yeah. But when you do, I at least hear it's more clarity, more open.
Yeah.
You're more open.
But I don't think that like difficulties in life, I think
they'll always still themselves. Be there. Yeah. Like even if you figure out the second part, it's still going to be difficult.
I think that's kind of the misconception, is that when somebody thinks, oh, well, I figured out what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, that doesn't mean that it's just going to be like, oh, smooth sailing from here, got nothing else to worry about. Because even if you're making like billions of dollars, there's still problems. There's always going to be problems. Mm-hmm. So it's learning how to navigate through that. But I don't know. I think if I didn't change anything else in terms of like what I do on a day-to-day basis, I think I'd be okay. I'd be okay with this lifestyle. I think I would just want to be in a more permanent location.
Yeah.
I think if I bought like a house or something, or an apartment or a condo or some shit, like if I owned where I was living, I think that would help.
Like either owned or if you're renting, at least know that you're going to be renting there for quite a while.
Yeah. I think that would be like the one thing. If I could get that settled, I would feel more stable in a way. Or even just having like a more permanent place for like this show and recording in general. Mm-hmm. But I can't afford to do that right now.
Studios are expensive.
Well, yeah, because if I could get like an actual, I guess basically like a business suite or something, I would do that. But we'd be working in a room somewhere, God knows where, and it wouldn't be in a good neighborhood, and we'd be
possibly not. No.
Yeah, we'd be more concerned with like, well, should we lock everything up when we leave, or
you should always lock everything up when you leave.
No, not the door, like the equipment. Because if somebody breaks in, that's fine. But if somebody breaks in and all the equipment's out, then we're done. Well, we're not done, but we're like severely crippled.
Yeah.
Just things like that. Because I'd like to have a permanent setup where I can just get basically a desktop version of what I have with the laptop, and then just give you the laptop. Because then like a permanent setup where it's just like a tower, right? But the towers are like this.
Yeah, with a bunch of hard drives in for storage.
Yeah. And it can just be stationary, and then I can set up a sort of environment where basically just a couple of monitors where you and I both have a monitor, but I can use that for recording music as well. And that would be super fucking ideal. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next couple months. I have to move.
That is true. You're getting closer to that month.
Yes. Hopefully that place in Upland, that would be nice. I think the only downside that I've clocked for that is the parking. Mm-hmm. It's doable. It's just not ideal.
Never is.
Yeah.
This is probably the idealist parking.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Okay, on to what we're here for. We're talking about, what are we talking about?
I thought you knew.
Yeah, I do, and I forgot again.
We're talking
the Saga of Tanya the Terrible, Tanya the Evil, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start out with, this is a show that you picked.
Yes, it is.
So why don't you go into a little bit of detail of why you picked the show and why you have subjected me to watch the first 3 episodes, which I did do, and I did take notes, so I'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to know what you like about it and the draw.
So what I like about it is I am keen to liking kind of historical wars and stuff like that, which is why when we time traveled, some of the places I wanted to see were battles. So I found it interesting, especially the first episode. It gets into like,
hold on. Before we get into the episodes, why don't you give a brief, like 20-word synopsis about what the show's about?
20 words.
Not exactly.
Not
20
exactly.
Words,
Yeah, I know.
Just a short synopsis.
All right, there's a synopsis from Crunchyroll.
There you go.
It is June of the year CE 1923. A young girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, Tanya, I'm not going to butcher the last name.
That's fine. Tanya something German.
Has entered the final curriculum of the Imperial Military Academy and is training at the 3rd Patrol Line in the Northern Military District, the Norden Theater. There's a gunshot, if it picked it up or not. As part of her service to the force, her training, the first step toward a brilliant career as an aviation mage, should have gone off without a hitch, but things took an unexpected turn.
I guess the other detail is that this is a grown man who died and got put into the body of a little girl or a teenage girl.
Reborn,
whatever.
Yeah, you don't get put into a body.
Okay, so
it's reborn,
like reincarnation.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just
has previous memories
for the listener. Because I think that part was.
There's no body snatching here.
No,
there wasn't the girl was born and then yoink. You're not in there anymore.
That part was left out in the synopsis. That's all. So, like, I missed all of the.
Well, because that's
details.
part of the second episode that you figure out that it was a grown man.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so continue.
All right, so the reason I love this anime is, one, it's kind of tied to an alternate World War One, and it includes a whole like, what if there was magic involved, and how would they incorporate magic in World War One? That and the sound is pretty good when they start either doing the dogfights or any combat, especially when they start pulling off the magic. It has that whole like good sound effect quality to it, where I really enjoy, because it kind of gives it that oomph and power. Like it's winding up, and all that stuff. So I'm like, anime that has that kind of is, to me, good. That's like the kind of the cherry on top kind of thing, where it's like, all this is good, and then the sound is there too. So
yeah, I think good sound design is definitely not like a make or break thing, but it definitely puts it on a different level.
Yeah. So that part I like. I also like the whole, like, you're getting the perspective of one side, and then you also technically, I don't know if it goes into the season for this one. It might be during the movie, but you get a perspective of the other side as well, because there's gonna be like vengeance and stuff seeked on both sides, kind of thing. And then you also get to see a whole perspective on the main character, who is first off atheist, doesn't believe in God, while getting saved by God. Or technically not getting, well, yeah, saved by God by performing that miracle. But refuses to believe in God, and is very by the book kind of character.
Yeah.
So they try to, I think it gets into the further episodes, but I believe she ends up writing some of the I forget what they call them, but it's kind of like the law of war kind of thing. Like, follow these rules while you're in war, and everything should be okay. She ends up writing some of those rules. But yeah, it gets very, very calculative in the sense, and that's what I like about it too. It's like they're showing the main character's thought process in a lot of this stuff, and also trying to just stay alive. So that's the other comedic part, she's trying to stay alive in that world, knowing that if she dies, she will not get reincarnated again. And trying to get the easy life out of it, whereas God is kind of forcing stuff onto her to make sure she's always in peril.
Gotcha.
So she can finally believe.
Gotcha. Well, and I guess to be clear, so you've actually seen the show before. You've seen the movie accompaniment as well. I only watched the first 3 episodes.
Right.
So I'm listening to you, but I can't necessarily... I'm just listening.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I like it. I mainly recommended it as a viewing point to see what your thoughts are on it. Hopefully you would like the sound design, because I liked it, but that's the only you might like this from it is why I picked it.
So you picked it because of the sound design.
Yeah, for you to watch.
Interesting.
For the sound design. There was also some other stuff where I'm like, how would he feel about this? But like mainly I'm like, I think you would like this. You might not like the show, but you would like the design. So I'm like, I would want to see what your thoughts are on it.
Okay, so I did homework, right?
Okay.
I actually labeled my notes as homework because I was taking it pretty seriously. My first question about the show, and I know the timeline's not lined up here because the show came out, I think, after you were done with your service.
Yeah.
But is this kind of what you thought was going to happen when you joined the Army?
No.
Okay. So you didn't want to be...
I had a quick picture of what it might have been when I joined the Army. And then they made it a little bit more clear when I was in boot camp.
Okay. So that's a joke based off of the character design that you prefer in video games. So I know you like to play as women.
Okay.
So I was just like, I didn't know if this was like some subliminal message where you're like, this is why I joined the Army. I always wished that I was this
be
flying.
A girl.
Yeah, this flying.
No.
Sorry. First joke. I don't think there's any more jokes. So the first thoughts that I had was it gave me Attack on Titan vibes in a way, in terms of like the way that the action was in the show. But instead of swords, they have guns, and they're flying instead of being like jerked by their waist by cables
right
across the city or whatever. So I did find that interesting in every, for lack of a better word, I guess, like country that's involved. have a different method of
flight. Yeah.
Which I also found interesting. It also felt a little bit to me like a Gundam Wing-esque-ish thing, but without mechs.
Yeah. Without mechs, yeah.
And magic instead of like science. But the science, there is also like kind of scientific and mechanical stuff going on, but there's magic involved, which is also kind of like a different layer of things. And just these are just bullet points where as I was watching the show, I was like, here's what I should talk about. Baby nuke sniper shots.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool, right? Like
that was the first episode.
Yeah. So you gotta, so these are all notes for the first episode. I didn't take any notes for the third episode because we were just watching it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, baby nuke sniper shots was a note. Wasn't expecting that. When somebody pulls out a gun that looks like a sniper rifle, I don't expect like a nuclear bomb coming out of it. Yeah. So that was fun. The death scene in the second episode.
Okay.
Where we find the reincarnation, right?
Yeah.
Something that I hadn't thought about before because it was very... Well, the death scene in particular was very interesting to me because it, like, time stops, right? Mm-hmm. And then God is talking to our main character with... Fuck the names. God is talking to our main character through everybody else around them.
Right.
After they've been pushed out in front of a train. So time stops and God's talking through 10 different people, or I think there was maybe an animal or something.
Yeah, a bird probably.
So I thought that was really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before in any film or show
I haven't either. After many animes, that's the first time I saw it. So I was that's part of what pulled me into.
Yeah, that scene in particular I thought was really interesting in the sense of the execution of it.
Yeah, I like the interaction of it too, because it was like he's presenting himself as God.
Yeah,
and the guy's saying, "No, you're not. You're more likely a devil, or let's call you." He calls him Being X.
Right. Also, I do relate to him before he died in the corporate world, where I'm like, oh no, that's how I'd like to run things, but it's not realistic. But that's how I'd like to run things, where it's like everything's by the book. Like we have rules. This is what it is. Like you break the rules, you lose your job.
Yeah.
Period. Like stop. Like.
Well, even then, I think at that point when he was firing him, it was. The guy he was firing had multiple infractions of that stuff. So it was like,
well, and you and I actually have been through situations like that where we're like, come on, dude, like don't make us do this to you. like we told you what was going on. And then, so for a second, because of the show, I did want to discuss reincarnation because I don't know if we've talked about that before.
We may have not, no.
So what are your thoughts on reincarnation? Like pros, cons, for, against?
I like the idea just because it gives a thought of like, okay, people who are reincarnated, well, first off, do they reincarnate if there are other worlds? Do they reincarnate into another world? If they're not, then you're reincarnating here. And you could be anything, really. You could be another human being. You could be an animal, an insect.
Right. A completely different experience.
Yeah. So it's interesting in a way where it's like, all right, if I die, what would be next? Like, how does it get chosen? What would be next?
Right. Or is it just random? Yeah. Until you've completed all of the experiences on Earth kind of thing.
Yeah. And it gives a whole new, like, technically meaning to it, like circle of life. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, all right, your life is done here. Let's begin a new cycle.
Yeah, now you're a tree.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
It's like, do you make a sound?
Yeah. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Yeah. No, I think just piggybacking on kind of like what you're saying. I think it's a very interesting thought that I was not expecting to come up while watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like, oh hey, what? I was like, what? I'm like, what if you get reincarnated as just a completely different person with same memories?
Yeah, that's the other thing is like,
and that's like, maybe that's what deja vu is. And like, you know, like there's all these like other elements that come into play. And then I was just like, oh fuck. I was like, I thought myself into some sort of dimension here. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. But it was very thought provoking. I did enjoy that. Okay, the next thing I have was measuring time in ramen. I don't remember what that is. But something in the second episode, they were measuring time in ramen somehow. Because I wrote it down while I was watching the show.
In the third episode?
Second
Episode, measuring time in ramen.
It might have been part of the reincarnation process.
Maybe.
Where they were talking about... God damn it.
It might have been their conversation.
Maybe.
Although you listened to it in dubbed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't.
Okay, so at some point in time in the second episode, they make some sort of reference to measuring time in like cooking ramen. And that stuck out to me where I was like, what the fuck?
That might have been part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I know they go back and forth between like certain concepts of things. So yeah, that might have been
So for the listener, sorry, I didn't take like extensive notes. That's not how I operate. I do paraphrased short sentences, and that's what I wrote down. I said measuring time in ramen. So watch the fucking show and you tell us what you think.
I remember what it is now.
Okay, there you go.
She's in the dogfight and she's trying to get reinforcements, and reinforcements are going to come in 600 seconds. In the Japanese, she's just saying that that's enough time to cook a meal.
Okay.
So I think in that way, it's like, that's enough time for me to cook ramen and eat it and stuff.
Which, okay, that sounds more familiar.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it was. It was pretty funny, which is why I wrote it down.
Yeah, because she was trying to like get the okay to flee, but she was told to stay and fight or hold them off until reinforcements come.
Okay. And the last notes that I have are the... which don't actually have anything to do with the show. It's more of like a Crunchyroll dub from Japan to English translation. The subtitles in the dub, because I watch with the subtitles on, whether it's English or Japanese, they kept saying commander, and the subtitles were, "Come here, John." And every so often, like when I'm watching stuff in English that's been dubbed, I'm like, they got the fucking interns doing this shit? What's going on?
Sometimes I wonder the same thing.
Or AI, whatever.
No, it's not AI.
It's pretty fucking funny, though, when it does happen, because I'm like, that's... like, you're clearly not listening.
Not in the same department, I want to say. Because you have the subtitlers who are actually subtitling the Japanese. And not going off of what the script is going to say when they're dubbing. Because when they're dubbing, they're trying to lip sync almost in a way. And they might have to change certain words to kind of keep it in the same meaning.
No, I get that. Like sometimes the translation's off. This is a mistake. Commander and come here, John is a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Which I just think is funny because they were clearly saying commander, and then the subtitles were like, "Come here, John." It's like, that's not what they said, because no one's named John, and we're talking to a female. And those are the end of my notes. But I did enjoy what I saw. We will probably get around to finishing the rest of it because it's just the one season, which I like. I like the singularity kind of thing where it's like I don't have to invest a ton of time into it.
Yeah.
I can just watch it for what it is, enjoy it. There's a movie. Cool. Let's go.
Good.
So thank you for the recommendation.
You're welcome. And I think there is a second season coming out soon. But yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That is one of the anime I like to recommend. Mainly, again, sound design. And it is thought-provoking. Like, I'm like, okay, here's something twisty in a sense of like, this is how they're going off of reincarnation.
Right.
Whereas other like isekai style animes, it's you get hit by a car, you get zapped out, and that's it. There's no. Sometimes you'll meet a god and say like, "Oh, we accidentally killed you, and we're sending you to this new place." But they get to keep their body, or they get to turn a little bit younger, but they're like kind of placed there instead of like you're born anew.
Right. Because he dies and then is born as a girl.
Yeah.
From, like, in a different family. Like, it is very... it feels random in terms of reincarnation. Or in that realm. Yeah.
And she was also abandoned. She's an orphan.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
He intentionally put her in the worst possible predicament.
Yeah.
It's something that I like, and I don't know how many other people would like it.
I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah. And also, fun fact, I don't know how long ago the episode aired, but when we stopped talking about anime and I said I had one more that we'll do next week, this is the anime I was talking about.
There you go. Yeah, I think that was before we had a couple of interviews lined up.
Yeah.
In between. So, yeah, there's this. And then I have one for you, which we don't even need to bring up, but yeah. We'll talk about that when we get to it because we have a couple more interviews in between.
Yep.
All right, let's continue with our quest, Joel, our internal quest here.
Yes. Let's see what we got here. All right, so our first quest, y'all, is to list 10 things that inspire or motivate you. Ooh, 10 things, that's a lot.
Fuck.
It's a lengthy quest.
I honestly only looked at the page numbers. Shit. Oh, no. 10 things? Fuck. Who's going first?
I asked you. I mean, I could go first.
Wait, it's what and what? Inspire
or motivate.
Okay.
Do you need time? I can go first.
Yeah, if you can start.
All right.
If you can start and do at least 5, I think I can do 5 and then you can do 5
bounce
more.
Back. Okay. Yeah, we'll do 5.
Yeah.
I guess one of the first things that inspire / motivate me is actually watching anime. It kind of depends on which anime. Like if I'm watching a sports anime, it kind of inspires me to kind of be a little bit more active just because it's intensity. But also just there's certain things about sports anime that's very different from any of the other anime because it's not as there's no life on the line kind of thing. But it still inspires you to kind of like do your best, like push through your limits kind of thing. So that inspires me. Let's see. My parents inspire me for sure, motivate me. Funnily enough, while I still am not sure about keeping it, the bike inspires me. it is getting its wheel replaced, or not replaced, but fixed right now. And hopefully that's the last time it needs to get fixed for hopefully longer than 2 weeks. Some games definitely inspire me. The one currently I'm playing, or I actually got back into it because they revived some of the stuff, is Diablo 2 Resurrected. They added a new class to it after the game was already technically done within the 2000s when it released. So I was super ecstatic about that, and actually that one was more hopeful of like there could be more, but the inspiration was more of people caring about other like older stuff that's already been out. Like they're caring for it and kind of understanding some of the gamers, because it's very you don't see that much often, or at all, really, like bringing life to an older game, especially from the company that released the game. Like you'll have other like outside of the company doing mods and stuff to kind of bring life into an older game, but this is more of like the company is doing it to the game itself. So yeah, that, and what is that, 4? That was 4, right?
That was 4.
This is very hard.
It is very hard, and we got to do more.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes for myself now.
I know you might say this, so it's technically going to be probably for both of us, but music. Music is for sure very inspirational and can either put you in the mood or get you out of the mood. So, or those are my 5 I can think of while I give you a chance to say your 5, so I can think of my other 5.
Yeah, I'm having trouble because some of them I feel like can be categorized in like the same thing, like artists.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, what kind of art? So I guess being specific is going to be our benefit here.
Yeah, specify, which is why I went with music and games instead of clumping them together.
Okay. So I already started on my second set of 5, but I'll go through my first set of 5. Give you some time. So one of the things that inspire or motivate me is watching other people do like a really good job. And I'll give an example of that. After high school, I used to spend a lot of time just sitting in a Starbucks. I didn't drink coffee or tea or anything. I literally just sat in a Starbucks and waited for like all my other friends to get off of work while so we could get high or drink or whatever we were doing on any given day. But I remember watching one of my friends, Gabe. He was a really good barista at Starbucks, and I would just watch him, and I'm like, "You're like a fucking robot, dude," because he was just like doing all the shit, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" So I'm always very motivated or inspired, or I guess more inspired by people who can just kind of like plug into their whatever task they need to do and just like efficiently like get that shit done without like hesitation and stuff like that. That shit's cool to me. I've always been inspired and motivated by watching other musicians create music. So like behind the scenes stuff, like that always kind of like gets my fuel going for like creativity. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, oh, I could do that too. I'm like, I've done that. I can do that. So I do always enjoy watching that. I am definitely motivated by daily exercise, which I do my best to do on a daily basis. I try to give myself maybe like 1 day off a week. But that's definitely like a motivation for me. It's not always fun, but it is definitely like motivates me for the rest of my day, where I'm like, all right, well, I started my day off good. So now I can, like, now everything else is kind of like, it's all downhill, like where I can just kind of ride out through the rest of the day. Movies or TV with a purpose, like where there's actually like a message or something, like there's something going on where I'm like, oh, I can take something from this. I can learn something, right?
That
from this, as opposed
not
to
with you with the purpose, but the show itself.
Yeah, the show or the TV or the show or the movie has some sort of message that I can take away from and actually apply to like my day-to-day life.
Okay.
That is very inspiring to me and can potentially be motivating. And then listening to friends listening to friends' updates about their lives is always nice, because I'm like, oh, you were here and now you're here. I'm like, that's cool. Like, it's fun to listen to people's progress, because I think for myself and I think for a lot of other people, we don't always recognize that in ourselves. Mm-hmm. So when you're listening to somebody else talk about it, you're like, oh, like, that's nice. And then maybe you can turn the mirror on yourself and you're like, oh, I've also made some progress.
Nice. Was that 5? I think that was 5.
That was 5.
So I will piggyback off of 1 before I forget it, but and I already did. I think it was your second one. What was that one?
Musicians creating music.
No. It was behind the scenes stuff. Or was that part of it? Mm-hmm. Okay, then yeah. So for me, it is the creation process, but it was more for like the animation process. That as a kid for sure inspired me to kind of open my mind to like, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do all that stuff. Does it now? Not really. I do like watching that still because it's still fun for me to watch, but it's not a should I put time aside for that? There's that part of me that still wants to like try it, so maybe watching more of it might motivate me to go that direction again. But I think like I said, I'm kind of wanting to try the mentor route / caregiver, I guess.
Do you think we should get some blazers and become like professors on the show?
That'd be fun.
With shoulder pads or elbow pads or whatever those are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to go off of that right now, because I'm doing all that stuff with the kids at school, I do enjoy, and it motivates me to wake up in the morning to like go there and come up with either new arts and crafts or just hang out with them and see how their day's been going, kind of thing. Where it's like there's some kids that like don't do anything over the weekend and just play games, and I'm like, what games have you been playing and stuff like that. Or there are kids that just go out and explore with their parents, and I'm like, all right, where'd you go, kind of thing. Where I have had like maybe a week or two of just doing arts and crafts with them, and a couple of those times have been like just handing them a white piece of paper and be like, draw what you did over the weekend, kind of thing, or any kind of that stuff, kind of get their creativeness going. And then there's been a couple who come up to me and like, show me how to draw this. I'm like, all right, we'll start with this and go this. So kind of like getting them hopefully interested in what I used to be interested as a kid. Yeah. And see if it takes them even further. But yeah, that's the second thing, or I guess the 7th thing, if we're going by numbers. 8th, let's see. I haven't done it, but I have people watch like you did. And that did kind of motivate me. The people watching motivated me to go outside to people watch, kind of thing. Where it's like, it made me want to go out and be like, oh, let's see what people are doing, kind of thing. The last time I did that, I was more of like, okay, let's see how the train system is. And that's when I took my train ride to LA, walked around Little Tokyo, and like, I did enjoy that. But again, it's something that kind of get me outside. It motivated me to go out, because I think that's another important thing, is just you just need to go out sometimes. You can't just stay inside, because if you stay inside all the time, you just start being gloomy and stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, conventions have motivated me also, because it's the people watching thing, but it's more specified to getting to meet artists out there in the artist alley and stuff, getting to talk to them, seeing how their process is and whatnot, which I'm hoping, if I can get a nice stable job to kind of supplement that expense, I would like to go back to those and actually finish up a book that I have, like a sketchbook, and have it filled up hopefully sooner rather than later.
I mean, when, where, how busy, how expensive?
What do you mean?
The conventions.
Well, I've done most of the Southern California ones, so I would like to branch out into others, maybe other states first, and then other countries. And depending on the artist, some artists charge, and there's like no negotiating it, to do like a little commission sketch or something. Or sometimes it's as simple as talking to them and just asking if they're willing to do it for free. And sometimes it's, I'll do a like, oh, let me buy this, but are you also willing to sketch in my book? But yeah, it's different. Different people have different ways of doing it, kind of thing. So I just do, those are my 3 routes I go, is like, I'll talk to them, and if they're willing to sketch, then they can sketch. So sometimes it can be for free, just going there and talking to them. And sometimes it's not. It can get pretty expensive, because I think the most expensive one I've gotten was probably like I think 100 for them to sketch in there.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it more. Let me know when stuff like that's coming up, because I'll just pay for it. And we can go.
Sure.
And then we'll record some stuff for it.
Let's see. Was that 8?
Yeah. No, that was 9.
That was 9?
Yeah, you got one more.
Oh yeah, people watching. Okay. So the other thing that motivates / or the final thing that motivates / inspires me is honestly probably just life in general. It inspires / amazes me.
Yeah.
Because it comes and goes. You wonder how people go through such like horrible hardships and still come out on top sometimes. Sometimes it's like the expected, like, oh, you're swirling down a spiral and someone could have seen it coming, but no one really either saw it or wasn't paying attention close enough. But yeah, it's like just how, I guess, fragile life is. And that's why I like finding things to get me outside, because while I do like playing games, I enjoy it. There are days where I'm like, I have nothing to do. Even though I can play a game, I'm like, I have nothing to do.
Yeah. I get you.
But yeah.
All right.
What are your last 5?
My last 5 would be my family / hardworking people, which watching other people do a good job. Yeah. Hardworking people. No, I think, but with my family in particular, I think we did not come from, like, we don't come from money or anything. It's like everybody in my family is a really hard worker in everything that they do, and we're all in different industries, and we're all in different, well, 3 of us are technically in the same industry, but everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and everybody does their own thing their own way, but we've all been successful in our own right in some way. Mm-hmm. So I think that is inspiring, and I take a little bit of pride in that, in being in that family, and like, well, none of us killed anybody. None of us is in prison. Yep.
That's good.
like we're okay. Like we're all doing all right. We could all be doing better, but we're all doing all right. The other one, or I guess number 7, watching artists paint and draw, which is why I was saying, like, let me know when that stuff's coming up. Okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do an episode. Because that amazes me. I'm not a good artist in that aspect. Like, I can't draw for shit. So watching other people just kind of effortlessly do something like that is always amazing to me. Small businesses that succeed, I think, is very inspiring. Like, you know Hamilton's, right?
Yeah.
The brewing company down the street or whatever. So they moved from that place that they were in probably the last time you were there.
Okay, so they're no longer there.
They're no longer there. They moved into a bigger place up the street, right on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Okay.
So still on Archibald, but like just on the other side. Yeah, on the north side of the railroad tracks. They bought out whatever place was there before, but so like stuff like that where I'm like, I know a little bit of history about their success where they sold their home or leveraged their house to start the brewery, and now they're like this big company, and you can go buy their beers at Bevmo or like local grocery stores and stuff. I'm like, they've been doing good, and they make one of the only beers that like I actually like to drink,
aside from the moonshine that you drink.
The moonshine, yeah. A proper beer. These are not beers. Another thing that inspires and motivates me is reorganization and optimization of a space. So like when things get rearranged in a more optimal way, I love that. So like my brother and I will do that every once in a while at work. And even at home, like, cause I've lived with him before in other houses and stuff, and we'll do that. I've done that with some of my friends while staying over at their places where I'm like, hey, like, let's move some shit around. Like, let's just move some shit around. Not only because I think part of it is make the space feel a little bit fresh, and also like optimization where you're like, well, is this the best place for this thing, or is this just where it landed? So I like doing stuff like that. And then in doing things like that motivates me to do that with my own shit.
Right. Do you think when you do that, you're following the feng shui of the outline, or more so on the like home decoration portion?
I guess, for example, like when I move into a new place, get the shit in the room, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's not spend 2 weeks on like, we're moving into a new place. Like, let's not spend a ton of time about like, well, this is the proper way to put things or whatever. This is the way that things should be, or this is the way that they were in the previous room or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Yes and no.
Okay.
So well, first off, I already knew you don't think about feng shui because you're thinking about functionality.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and the way you end up, probably some stuff might be feng shui, but not all the time.
Define feng shui.
It's the flow of the room kind of thing, where in some cases you wouldn't want the bed under a window, so that's already out, and you said you wouldn't care, so it's like, I
wouldn't care to an extent, but it needs to make sense to me, and I don't know if that's one and the same definition or not.
It's not, because I think for the most part, even some rooms are probably not built in mind for feng shui either way.
Yeah, like my room now.
Yeah, so it's.
I'm working. I'm working with what I got. But if I had an optimal space, I would definitely want to make sure that it has I guess, optimal settings, where it's like, oh, well, I am free to move about the space in all ways and manners, and like nothing is blocking anything, and that yada yada yada. I'm like, yeah, but I'm in like a 9x8 room over here right now, so that's out of the question.
Yeah, that's what I said. You answered the question.
But yeah, it's all circumstance. And then the last one is, I guess, just kind of like watching and assisting in plant growth, or like any foliage of that kind. Because, like,
I thought you were pointing at the water heater, but you're actually pointing
this plant
at that
here on the desk. Like, I've never been like a green thumb in any way, but apparently with aloe plants and I get along, I think. So they're like, they only need water every once in a while.
Yeah, which is a desert plant.
Yeah, which is how often I'm available to give water. And then they just kind of grow and they're doing their thing. And I'm like, nice growth. I like that. That's number 10.
Nice. All right.
We're not going to go into detail on these 10, are we? Is that what the next?
We're Here's the second portion of our quest.
Okay.
How do you inspire or motivate others, even in small ways? So no, we don't have to go in depth.
Good. It's so hard to answer these kind of questions.
I mean, technically, I already did answer mine, but I'll re-answer it again.
But, like, I don't know if I actually do.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't know. If somebody doesn't tell me, like, oh, you inspire or motivate me, how the fuck would I know? So
you can think you inspire someone, though, by a certain action.
Well, so previous work experience, right? I have analytics that show that what I was doing while I was in charge, the company was doing better in terms of, like, strictly analytics. Like, I have data to represent that. And I think at that time, the morale was higher.
Well, that would contribute to, like, you inspired the work.
Well, I'm not going to say I was putting in a lot of work, but I was doing what I could do at the time, where I was trying to get, like, more communication going and dialogue and stuff. And I was, kind of like what we're doing with the fucking show. Like, I was posting quotes and stuff and talking about it and having other people trying to get other people to contribute to that conversation and stuff. And even when they weren't contributing to the conversation, it was like, oh, well, at least I know that these 3 people actually read what I wrote. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that did something good for them today, because it's like, this might be the only positive message they hear today.
Yeah. But you guys never wanted to put my message, which always brought me down.
Why don't you tell everybody what that is again?
To never put Twinkies on a pizza.
This is why we didn't mention it. And that's bullshit. You say it all the time.
Yeah, to you guys, but never out to the workforce.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I hope I do. I hope the things that I do and say will inspire or motivate people in some way. But without, like, analytical data, I don't know if it's actually doing anything, but I do hope that it is. Mm-hmm. I try my best to live my life in a way to be an example to those around me, but I'm not always great at it. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's my answer.
Cool.
I do my best on a daily basis to try to be something inspiring.
I will just I don't want to use it a cop-out, but I'll reiterate it and add something else to it, where with the kids and the arts and crafts, I hope I'm inspiring them to like continue being creative. But then there's also just another part where I'll go into, because that's in the morning section of the work, but I also do after school. So the after school, we're doing a lot more sports and stuff. I'm hoping I'm at least inspiring them or motivating them to kind of be active or even just be good at like teamwork based stuff instead of, I've seen some of the kids just hog the ball all day.
Yeah.
Like they're the best. And I'm also hoping to get them kind of out of their comfort zone, because there was one week we did soccer, and two of the kids came up and were like, "Oh, we play on the soccer team." I'm like, "Oh, you do? You two are captains." "No, we want to play together."
Yeah, that's a tough kind of decision where you're like, well, you can both be the best to help everybody else, but they're like, we just want to continue doing together. What we've been doing. Yeah.
It's like, we want to dominate. It's all right, you dominate on that team, you dominate on this team.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, that's my hope, at least. Like, I'm hoping I'm motivating the sports side, but I'm also hoping like the creative side in the morning, I'm like, please at least enjoy some of the stuff I'm teaching you. Which some of them have, and some actually like have given me like some of their stuff. Like, here's what I did.
Well, and not everybody's an artist.
Yeah.
Some people just need
even then, like,
time to just do something.
They're elementary school kids, so I know they're not going to learn it. And I try to make it simple for them anyway, because like, I'm not going to show them how to draw a realistic turtle. I'm like, here, draw this turtle here. Circle and give it some fins and whatnot.
Right.
Make sure to add the squares or rectangles on its shell, and that's it. It's like, this how it came out. It came out good. It came out bad, but he attempted it.
Right, but that is kind of like the...
And they get better over time.
Yeah, where it's like telling somebody that you like something at a young age can help inspire them to continue down that path. Mm-hmm. As opposed to, I feel like 90% of those kids are going to be like, this is the thing that I do before I go to school. Mm-hmm. This is just passing time.
Yeah. We get a lot of those. There's like, I think that school has like 140-ish kids in that program. Mm-hmm. So the cafeteria gets full.
Yeah.
But if at least I inspire a handful of those hundreds, that's enough for me.
Yeah, that's nice. It is a nice thought. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Make sure you follow us on social media at Unique Noise on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube. Like and subscribe so we know that you're out there. Leave a comment and let us know your thoughts on the show, or fucking hell. Words are right in front of my face. Leave a comment and let us know your thoughts on the quote or any suggestions you may have about the show. Check out our website for merch and other projects at uniquenoise.com. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.